Alright, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be drawing heads and doing this in digital. I tried recording this in traditional earlier today, but my recording setup just doesn't work for that. So yeah, to compensate for doing this in digital, I'm not going to use any of the digital tools like Control Z or extra layers, just so that the people working in traditional can actually follow along. But yeah, with that out of the way, this video is only going to contain heads as seen from like a straight on position, so no high angles or low angles. I think I'll keep those for a future video, just to keep everything like nice and organized. But yeah, let's get started. I think I'm only going to do 3 heads. That's probably the best way to go about doing this. Gets across a fair bit of information, and it also doesn't take that long. So when you're trying to draw heads, the first thing you should always do is draw a circle, or I guess a sphere if we're thinking about it three-dimensionally. Try to make this circle as perfect as you can. So take it very slowly, kind of like that. Yeah, something like that. You could also use some sort of like circular object to draw the circle, like if you can find like a glass or something. You could do that, and then you got a perfect circle, and then you can actually just practice heads without having to worry about the circle. But yeah, just more practice with drawing circles is never a bad thing. Okay, then I'm gonna draw another one right here. I think this one is going to be a side view. So this one, I think I'm going to keep that as a 3/4 side view, and then this one, I'm not sure yet. I think in the previous recording I did, I made that like a straightforward view, but I think I'm going to alter that a little bit. Okay, so back to the first one. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make this a bit clearer for you guys. So first thing you should always do is draw a vertical line. Well, the first thing you should always do when you're drawing a head from this exact angle. Draw a vertical line, draw a horizontal line. It exactly cuts the circle in half. I think mine is a little bit off, but that doesn't really matter. So from here, we're going to draw an ellipse that cuts the circle in half, like right about there. So if you've got this vertical line, right, it cuts the circle in half. If you cut it in half, again, you've got 4/4. I'm going to draw an ellipse that touches this point right there. So let me just get rid of all of that stuff. Touch it right around there. And then you don't exactly have to draw it in the back, but you know, you can do it if you want to. So now we have the point where the head is like exactly turned halfway away from us. So right here I'm going to draw a line straight down. That's going to be the center line of the face. And then actually, if you touch your own head, you can tell that the front plane of your head is curved, but then once you start getting towards the side, it's actually kind of flat. So we need to show that in our construction right here. And to do that, I'm going to draw another ellipse right here. Trying to keep everything very light, because later on I'm going to darken things when I'm actually drawing like a character on top of this. But yeah, this is the side plane of the head. You can just drop a line straight down, because right here, that point, that's where our ear is going to start and where the jaw is going to attach. Also, when you're looking at these proportions, make sure that these 2 points, like the bottom and the top of the ellipse, make sure that those don't touch the bottom of the actual circle. It has to be a little bit above and a little bit below it. Okay, so now I'm going to extend this line out, which touches it like right there. That point is going to be the bottom of the nose. And then if you take this distance and you duplicate it down, you can actually get the bottom of the chin. So I think it's somewhere around there. And then if you duplicate it up, you can also get the hairline. This one is usually far less important, at least when you're drawing anime characters, but it's always good to get that one in there as well. So now from here, I'm going to draw the outside contour of the face, which is going to start from there. And then this is going to be very rough because all I need is just the general shape. Like, I don't need to actually detail this just yet. And then, like I said, this is where the ear starts, so I'm just going to drop a line down. That's the part of the jaw that's almost vertical. It's at like a slight angle. You can feel it on your own head too. Like, in fact, you can take pictures of your own head as reference if you really want to do that. But like I said, that's where the ear starts. Again, this is going to be a very rough shape. We're going to refine it later on. Then it's the hairline, just going to show it like that. Okay, so now, wait, I forgot something. Right here, I'm going to draw a shape like that, drop this down, and then attach it to the side of the chin like that. That's to show that that's the cheekbone, which you can also feel on your own head. It's right underneath your eye. Which means that the eyes are right above it, so right around there. But first I'm going to draw the nose. Usually when you're drawing the nose, you start from the glabella, which is that point in beneath your eyebrows. And this is all like facial anatomy stuff, which I don't really want to get into now. I'll probably do a different video on that sometime in the future. So, yeah, glabella, draw the nose down. The nose has a little bit of depth to it, so we do need to show that. Like that. And this is our simplified nose. Just about, yeah. And then right here, I'm just going to get a very light eye, just to show that that's where our eye is going to be. Also, I assume that you guys already know the proportions of the face. Like, there are plenty of tutorials that can help you out with that. But you should know that there is about 1 eye width's distance in between both eyes. But when you're drawing the face in perspective, it gets harder to measure that. But what you can do is just take that length, put it in between the length of the eye that's on the far side, put that in between, and then take a little bit more, and that lets you figure out the position of the other eye. The reason why that works has to do with like a perspective trick, which I will probably explain in a different video. So hey, stay tuned. Okay, so what were we doing? Drawing the eye, right? There we go. Of course, when you're drawing an anime character, these eyes are going to be a lot bigger, but these are like the starting proportions we can use. And then also like eyebrows, if you want to get those in. So for the mouth, what we're gonna do is take this length and then divide it into thirds. That's terrible. Divide it into thirds. I think that's alright. Yeah, which means the opening of the mouth is right around there, the first third. So I think it was right around there. It's the opening of the mouth. You don't have to draw the lips if you don't want to, but yeah, just to make it clearer. Okay, that's basically like the construction of the face. You can draw a character on top of this, but before we do that, wait, let me just quickly get a neck in there as well. Yeah. So let's move on to the second one. This is going to be the side view, and the side view is actually kind of difficult for a lot of people because you don't get a lot of practice with it if you're just doing illustration. In animation and manga, you do have to draw it very often, so you should probably get familiarized with it. So again, when you're doing a side view, start with these two lines, vertical and horizontal, and then we're going to drop a line straight down here. That's going to be this center line, but because the head is turned all the way, it's at the front of the circle. And then we also need to draw this side plane, which in this case is going to be a perfect circle. just because of the way like ellipses work, but again, that's something I'll have to explain later. Okay, so from here, again, this point does not touch the bottom of that circle, the reason being we need space for that. Okay, so extend that gives you the bottom of the nose, duplicate that distance again, that gives you the bottom of the chin, and then from here you can attach this line to that and then draw an ear. Now something that's interesting about the nose here is the nose doesn't actually attach to that point directly. It attaches like right around there, just a little bit in front of it. But usually I always start with the glabella again, right there at the front. Drop that line straight down. If you were to extend this line perfectly horizontally, the nose is going to be a little bit above it, like at an angle. So from here we do that, and then one very important rhythm with the side view of the head is that you can actually draw a diagonal line that touches the tip of the nose all the way down to the bottom of the chin, and then all of the other features are going to sit directly on top of that line. So let me just draw that line a bit better. Something like that. Touches it there. Okay. So now if I want to draw the mouth, it has to touch it, so I think I'm a little bit off. But yeah, we need to divide this into thirds again. Third is right around there, so the mouth is going to be there. Bottom lip, and then just draw it like that. And that's the bottom of the face. Nostril is like right around there. Something like that. Then we can just draw this up. I forgot to do the hairline. It's somewhere around there. Okay, now for the eye, when you're trying to draw an eye in side view, it's less wide than if you were to draw it in front view, because a lot of people are used to drawing front views, like especially when you first start out, you're used to just doing you know, that. But when you're drawing a front view, if the eye is that wide, for example, then in a side view it's going to be exactly half the width. So instead it's going to be like something like that. Although I should have made it like a bit longer. So yeah, the eye is going to line up with the glabella that we drew previously. I think that's a little bit too high actually, so let me drop that to right around there, and then our eye is going to sit in between those two, so something like that. And that should be the head and side view. And now if you want to draw the neck, there's a muscle right here at the bottom, which again, facial anatomy, don't really want to get into that, but the it kind of softens out this bottom part of the jaw. And then the neck is also not perfectly vertical, it's at an angle. But yeah, that's the side view. So now moving on to this, and let me quickly think what I want to do for this. Okay, I think I have an idea. I'm going to try to draw the head at a slight tilt, and it's also slightly turned away from us. So to start, I'm going to put a vertical line in there again, and then the horizontal line. These two lines need to make 90-degree angles with each other. So right here it's 90, and then in the other one it was also 90, like right there. So just pay attention to that. And then now I'm going to draw an ellipse again, and this time it's going to be less wide than the ellipse that we drew for the three quarters view. My god. So in this one it was like right around there. In this case, it's right around there. And now we also need to get the side planes of the head in there. And like if you've seen a person from the front, the head has this slight taper shape to it, which means that if you're looking at the front plane of the head, you can also see the two side planes. So we need to show that from this angle as well. Meaning, we draw a side plane here, and then we also need to do it on the other side. Just make sure that this side and this side, make sure that they're not the same. That this one is a lot less wide. And I think that one's slightly off. It needs to be more like that. Okay. So from here, I'm going to draw a line down again. This line is the center line, of course, but it follows the angle of that one, or the tilt. So again, mark off that point for the bottom of the nose. Actually, it's a little bit higher, I think. And then duplicate that distance down as well as up. So from here, I'm going to draw another very rough outline, just to get me the outline of the head. Now, what I drew there, that was the cheekbone, right? We can also do that from the front view, and it's actually a very helpful rhythm. It attaches right there to the chin, and because this is almost a front view, so we can see the cheekbone on the other side as well. Like that. Need to make sure that those are like vertically aligned. Something like that. I think that's too low, actually. Just said they need to be vertically aligned, and then I don't do it. Like that. That's a bit better, I think. And then just quickly draw the jaw, and then we're going to draw the ears. Ears line up with the bottom of the nose. The nose from this angle is actually kind of hard, because it's not perfectly aligned with this vertical line. It's slightly off center, but not too much, or else the nose looks crooked. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to draw the nostrils as well. I think I made those lines a little bit too dark, which is kind of unfortunate for the final product. And then the mouth. One interesting thing about the mouth is that you can also draw a rhythm from the side of the nose down to the mouth, like that, for example, and then the sides of the mouth have to touch those lines. That's a pretty good one. Okay, gonna get the lips in there. Damn, we've already been going for like 20 minutes. We're almost done though, so this shouldn't be too big of an issue. Okay, and then the eyes. I think the eyes from the front view are always the hardest thing to draw. In this case, like the eyes do line up with these two points, the sides of the nose, but then of course the nose needs to be correct as well. It's just a lot of guesswork, unless you're using like a different method, which I don't want to show off in this video. And then again, take that eye, and then the other one is about the same. It's about the same width, and it's also like the same distance apart. I think I placed the eyes a little bit too far apart, but I can fix that in the actual drawing. Yeah. This one also looks a little bit too big. This is a hard one to draw, like especially front views, because the entire head needs to be symmetrical, and that's really hard to get right unless you have a lot of practice with it. Draw the neck like right there. Okay, I think that should be enough. I'll have to shorten the chin a little bit because I think my thirds were off. There was one there, one there. Yeah, they're slightly off. But yeah, I can change that. Alright, so now we have all three building blocks, and then from here we can actually start drawing characters on top of this. And also, you can vary these proportions like all you want. Like, for example, if you want to draw the nose all the way down here, and then make this portion smaller than that portion, you can do that. Like, it just comes down to personal preference and the type of character that you're drawing. This method of drawing the head, by the way, it's called the Loomis Method, which Andrew Loomis came up with. He's also written a book about how to use this method, so I would highly suggest buying that book. So it's like one of the best ones out there. Okay, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Hope that helped, and like I said, I'll probably do some high angle and low angle poses in the future as well, and maybe I'll do another video where I'll draw like a bunch of different heads, so kind of like a variety thing. But yeah, if you've got some other ideas for videos, be sure to leave those suggestions in the comments, and I guess I'll catch you all later.